Hey, hello, it's Gianluca from Customer Success Team here at Chekin, and today I'm here to show you all the tricks for the online check-in. So, first thing I want to show you is how to send our standard online check-in email. And this is pretty easy. Basically, in order to activate it, you have to go to the property section, click in the property where you want to activate the online check-in, and click here, send online check-in to guest automatically. This way, the online check-in will be activated in all the properties you have, all right? And then what is missing is just to decide in which language you want to send the online check-in email by default. So for example, English, and then the timing in which you want to send the online check-in. I always suggest to choose the following options. All right, what that means, it means that basically Chekin will keep sending a request to register online to your guest until he recognizes that there are still guests missing to be registered in the same reservation. Just to give you a quick example, you have a reservation of 3 guests, and 1 week before the check-in they receive an email and only 1 register. So 72 hours before the check-in we send another request, and if the other 2 people register, we stop sending the email. Once you do that, you're ready and you click on Save Changes. Your guest will receive an email like this. So this is one of our design with the name of the accommodation where they are going to stay, check-in date, check-out date, and a simple sentence saying that it's mandatory to check in online before your arrival. They will click on this button and fill in the online check-in form. The other option you have is to turn off that standard online check-in email and activate the custom emails. How to do that is pretty easy. Well, you have to come back here and disable first the sending of the standard online check-in email. Click on Save Changes. And then you go to Settings and you go to Communication. Here you create a new template. For the name of the template, this is internal for you, so you can put any name you want. For example, check-in. The subject is the subject in the email that the guest will receive, so online check-in. Mandatory, for example. And in the message, you add your message, and the really nice thing of this tool is that you can use variable. So for example, you can say, hello, the guest full name, so this will show in the email the real guest full name. Please register here prior arrival, and you can copy here the online check-in link, the variable of the online check-in. This is mandatory. Thanks, Gianluca. Something like that, right? If you want, you can even create an email in HTML format. So you click here and you just add the text in HTML. And here you can select the timing, right? So for example, we can say again, all this timing, right? As you can see, the nice thing of this is, for example, that you can even send more emails. So for example, one to require the guest to register, and another one, for example, in the checkout saying, hey, please, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy your stay. Please leave the key here in the table. Then you have to decide the language. So in this case, English. That means that basically this email will be sent to all the guests that have in the reservation itself, in the details, language as English. Okay, so this you can find it here actually in the reservation. Let me save here. So let's select first the property where we want to apply this change, and we click on Save Template. So we have selected as English. Pay attention that the toggle need to be turned on. So in the reservation itself, there is a field which is language. All right. So since here the language is English for this guest, of course that email will be delivered. And for some PMS, we are already syncing the language, so you can create all the communication you want. And for example, having a communication in English, in Spanish, in Italian, and we already recognize the language. If we are not recognizing the language of your PMS, just reach out to our support and we will synchronize that info from your PMS. In case you're not using a PMS integration, then basically when you have to create a reservation, you will have to decide which language for the guest is the one they speak. So there's no problem at all for that. Another nice thing you can do is customize also the online check-in. How to do that is pretty easy. You go again to setting, this time to custom form, and you add a custom form. So here, for example, the name of the form, again, this is internal, so you can put any text you want. Country, and for example, in my case. So here, basically our solution gives you all the fields they are by default in the online check-in form. And then, for example, this is something that I would like to do now. If I were a host, I will put the email address as mandatory, so I can collect all the real private email address of my guest, right? Also the phone number, if you want to, you can put as mandatory. But the nice thing is that you can even add new fields. So for example, imagine you want to require a negative PCR file, so you can click on add custom form. So on the custom field, and here you say, for example, a file uploader, name of the field, negative PCR result, language, English. Make sure to add as many languages as possible. So in the online check-in, it will be show the right translation to the guest. All right. So you click on add another language. So for example, risultato PCR negativo, Spanish. Okay, and you can even add more languages. You click on save custom field. Okay, you can even decide to put this as mandatory, for example. You can also decide during the online check-in to require an ID or passport pictures. And then the last step is to select in which property you want to apply these changes. So in my case, I will say in all the properties, please. All right, ready? Once you set all this up, you can see in the online check-in that the changes are applied like in real time. So the email now is mandatory, and here there is the field to ask the guest to upload a negative PCR result. Also, a nice thing you can do is downloading any X time a guest report, and in the guest report you can include also the custom fields. All right, so you can select custom fields, so you will have in that case also the result of the PCR. You can select all the fields available here, right, if they've been asked during the online check-in, and you can download everything in an Excel. What are you waiting for? Customize from today the online check-in the way you prefer. Bye.